All right, welcome everybody. If you guys can hear me clearly, type where you're logging in from in the chat box. If you can hear me clearly, type where you're logging in from. I am logging in from Los Angeles, California. We've got Illinois, Cleveland, Potosi, Missouri, Harrisburg, North Carolina, Georgia, Bismarck, North Dakota, Houston, Texas. Look at Paul Glover, Houston. Gregory, South Dakota. I never heard of a Gregory, South Dakota before. That's new. Jacksonville, Florida. That's where my family's from. Jacksonville. Cleveland, Ohio. Small Stone, Arizona. That's where you're from, David? I didn't know that. I mean, not Arizona, Arkansas. Small Stone, Arkansas. Well, welcome everybody. This is our special Monday evening team calls. Gregory's going to put Philippines on the map. I love to hear that. The Philippines, wide open. In fact, I don't think there's anybody in the Philippines. Wait a minute. Yes, there is. Wrong country. Yes, there is. We've got a couple powers over there in the Philippines, but it's still wide open. So good. Glad to have you on board. Yeah, the UK group, not from our side. Those of you on the conference call line, I have you unmuted. Go ahead and state your name and where you're calling in from. Those on the conference call line. Did I mute you guys out? Let me see.
All callers are muted and they can unmute themselves.
Yeah, yes, I did. All right, we'll get you guys next time. But anyways, welcome. This is our special call, and hope that everybody had a great holiday Easter weekend, despite whether you actually observe Easter for what Easter really is, like I do. We hope you guys enjoyed yourselves and your time with your family, and you really reflected on what yesterday really meant, from Good Friday to Easter Sunday, and I had a good reflection for myself, especially spending time with my grandmother yesterday. But we couldn't have our team call last night. Normally we have it every Sunday, so we have to move it to Monday. And normally we have our grand opening, getting started training on Monday nights. But we're having our team call to take that place for now, and we'll continue with the regular schedule for our Monday night getting started call next Monday. Now we had a very good team call the following Sunday, last Sunday. Well, we spent a lot of time talking about the economy, whether we take advantage of this company or not, what is going to happen. We're starting to see it. I mean, it is in the news every single day. In fact, I'm going to share with you guys an article that Lou Smith posted about FedEx and what's going on globally. A lot of things are taking place right now, right underneath most of our noses. But let's go ahead and recognize a couple of people. We had a brand new Star affiliate got promoted yesterday. If not yesterday, that was today, underneath Chris McCoy, and his name was Kamau. We had several new people from Japan that got started on our team. So we still have 9 days left in the month. So we have 9 days to go to really end this month out strong. And I'm going to focus on one thing, because I've been hearing this from several people, and interestingly, those people are not on the conference call. But this is being recorded so that they can hear this. But I figure, instead of having one conversation per person, and I can share this with everybody at the same time, and with it being recorded, you can always go back and listen in. And I do see people that's on the webinar right now that I know they can't hear unless they have called in. So let me put this number in here just in case. People, I don't want them to miss out. 712-432-0075, PIN 865707 #. Before I even go into that, does anybody have any success stories that they'd like to share with the team? If you're on the conference call line, hit *6 to unmute yourselves. If you're on the webinar and you'd like to share something, raise your flag so I can unmute you and we can share. So is there anybody that wants to share anything? I know I'll read one sharing story that I did see. This was posted by Chuck Williams. He said, "This just in from Terry Bertrand. I just purchased an Asus tablet from Amazon using my Shopping Sherlock website and saved 75%. Got it for $119.95. Just left Best Buy an hour ago, and Best Buy wanted the same device for $345. 75% off. Now, that right there is a lesson. Now, let me go back. I'll share that lesson and see if there's anybody that wants to share anything. No, okay. That right there is a lesson. Because I've been hearing this from several people that might have been in the business for 2 or 3 months. Why should I continue to pay the $34.95 when I'm not making any money? All right? Why should I continue to pay in a business and I'm not getting paid? I'm not making any money. Nothing is happening. Well, there's several reasons why. And I think it's almost time to do another mindset training. Maybe a couple more weeks. Almost time. But you have to understand that you are running a business. You're not paying somebody else. You're running a business. And when you run a business, you're in business because you have goals. Your goals is not the same as everybody else. And a lot of times the only thing that's unanimous is the fact everybody wants to make more money. But you have a goal. And no matter what your goal is, no matter what it is that you want in life, I guarantee you there is a cost. That cost can be in time, or that cost can be in money, or it's probably going to be in both. There's a cost to doing business. There's a cost to achieving your goals. You want to lose weight? What's the cost? You can't eat sweets. And you got to spend time in the gym. You want to make money outside of a job? What's the cost? Well, it costs money to start a business. And it takes time. And time is money. You don't believe in a home-based business and you want to make more money and you still believe in a job, there's a cost. It's called going back to school and paying for it. Nothing in this life is free. There is always a cost. You first need to identify what that cost is. And come to terms, are you willing to live with the cost even if the goal has not been met in your timetable? I hope that makes sense. See, this is what business people understand. In traditional business, not home-based business, in a traditional business, you're going to go at least 5 years before you're in profit. I'll give a story. I haven't shared this in a long time of my godfather who opened up his own Quiznos. Why? I looked at what, Quiznos? Really? But financially it made sense because it was the cheapest franchise that he could really start out here in California. And he worked at the same company that my father works for. You know, they've been knowing each other since high school for the past 40 something years. So he was looking at coming close to retirement. And he knew that he wasn't going to have enough to live on once he's retired. I think he was going to be getting 70%, 75, maybe 80% of his income on his job. You might think that's pretty good, but when he was barely living off of 100% of what he was making already, you know, taking a 25% cut, nobody's looking forward to that. So he was planning ahead. So he took $250,000. $250,000 loan and $50,000 cash out of his own pocket. Started a Quiznos. And he had to find location and everything for it. And it was pretty good. He had a grand opening when he finally got it started. You guys recognize that term, a grand opening? He did. A grand opening and invited all the friends and family. That was the first and last time all of us ever went into his Quiznos. But hey, he had a grand opening. He had to show it off just like you do in regular business. And his goal, he was going to retire in 3 years. He had enough money saved to survive for 2 years. Because he knew he wouldn't be in profit for 5 years with that Quiznos. So you see, he had a 5-year game plan. He was going to work his Quiznos while he was still working a job for 3 years. And then go full time with it for the last 2 years and then go and profit. Smart goal, but how many of you have $250,000 in loans that you can get and a $50,000 cash out of pocket? And there's no guarantee you succeed because guess what? The Quiznos is closed down today. After 4 years. He didn't make it to 5 years. So would you be willing to spend over $250,000, well, you add it all up, $300,000 on a 5-year game plan, and there's no guarantee of success? Most people are not. So we look at a home-based business. What is the cost of our business? $34.95. You're wasting my time if you call me complaining about $34.95. If anybody, and she was shocked that I said this. I said, you know what? I think you're right. You need to cancel your auto ship. Cancel your auto ship. $34.95. Because by doing one purchase that's saving you money is saving you money to run your business. This person saved $300 on an item they were going to buy anyway. The cost of doing business for 12 months in our business is $668. So before you even look at making a dime, ask yourself, am I willing to invest $668 even if I don't make a dime for my first 12 months? Is that a risk I am willing to take? If the answer is no, save yourself time and go do something else. This is a business we're building here, and not only any business, we're building a billion-dollar empire that only costs you $668 to play. That's your foot in the door. $249 startup cost, $34.95, $668 for the entire year. That should never be an issue with us. It's important that you have that mindset in going in. This is a business, not a hobby, not a job. I want to address something else here. When people say, I've been here for a couple of months and I haven't made a whole lot of money yet, I hear that for two reasons. Number one, you still really don't understand the compensation plan, or you're using that as an excuse because you're ready to quit. There's only two reasons that I will hear that. You've got one foot in and one foot out and you're looking for an excuse to quit, or you just really don't understand the compensation plan. I don't care what title you have. I don't care what you've done in the past. You cannot get paid unless volume is moving through the business. I don't care if you're a global power. If nobody is joining the business, you're not going to get paid. So how can you say, I'm a global power and I'm not making any money? You don't have any business going. How is that any different from any other business? You can have a McDonald's on the corner, and if nobody is coming into your store, who cares that you own a McDonald's? You're not getting paid. Business is all about volume and sales. And if you do not have volume and sales, you're not going to make money. So here's what you do, because a lot of people, including myself at times, can get frustrated. And I catch myself when I'm on Facebook and I see people in other companies not even working a tenth of how hard I'm working, talking about making $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month. Doesn't feel too good. But at the end of the day, you are not. Let me find this quote. I just saw this on speaking of the devil, on Facebook today, and I love this saying because this makes perfect sense. Let me see if I can find that here. This guy's always posting 1,000,000 times a minute, so I might have lost it. Well, I'll paraphrase what he's saying. The difference between professionals and amateurs. Amateurs are those who's comparing their current progress to somebody else, especially in a different company. instead of comparing your progress to your own goals that you've set for yourself. Does that make sense? The only thing you need to be looking at is the goals that you have set for yourself. Not worry about what anybody else is doing. Because I did catch myself. There was one guy, it really irked me. And you look at the Lord like, Lord, why are they having that type of success? Why is that? It's not for me to know. That's not my business anyway. But one thing that I did and I remember is you look at these same individuals. 6 months ago, they were in something else. 6 months before that, they were in something else. 6 months before that, they were in something else. 6 months before that, they were in something else. Is that what I'm looking to type of build? No, that's not my goal. My goal is long-term, steady, walk-away, residual income. That is why I am here. I'm here looking at the long term. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the long term. Now, people say, well, yeah, we're looking for long term, but we need to make some money short term. You're absolutely right. Go find two people and have them find two people and have them find two people. Go sell some products. You can make money immediately here as well. But I want to read something to you guys that Michael Weeder shared with some of the leaders last night. And I'm a student of this industry. I know the stories of companies like ACN that was 24 hours away from closing its doors before it took off. And it had already been in business for 3 years. Companies like Wake Up Now that was looking to get bought out by somebody else because they had nothing going. Even my last company that had nothing going for a year and a half until I joined. Companies like Visalis that was almost bankrupt and going backwards until they reinvented themselves and had the 90-day challenge. Companies like Organo Gold where you had Holton Bugs join and everybody laughed at him for a year until he showed a $200,000 check. Everybody and every company has their season. Here is a story of a company called It Works. I want you to listen to this. The product, the toning wraps, came to his attention in late 2000 as a way of riding the fitness craze of baby boomers. People were starting to be more concerned about how we are going to stay younger. After visiting a manufacturer in Mexico, Pentecost secured the exclusive rights to sell bootstrapping It Works. This is the year 2000, okay? Follow me here. 14 years ago. In 2001, with money he made in his reselling days and through real estate, that's how he got It Works. Leveraging a network of close friends he made while at Excel, so this is the guy who made money in Excel Communications in the 90s, as well as co-ownership help from wife, Cindy, Pentecost and Company, began doing in-home and hotel demonstrations in Michigan, Virginia, and North Carolina, and later other locations. It was slow to catch on. Well, we heard that. I hear people say all the time, man, it's blowing up in Europe and overseas. How come it's not catching on in America yet? It's just not time yet. But it was slow to catch on. In 2002, 2 years later, okay, follow this. 2 years later, the company saw sales of 431,000 and was not profitable. So this guy, 2 years in, and is not profitable. By Christmas of 2004, 2 years later, so we're now 4 years in, the company had yet to get any real traction. So now the company's now going 4 years. No traction. I can guarantee you, here's the story of people that joined the company at that time. Nothing's going on. I'm going to go join something else that's something on the internet. Something that's more exciting. Right? And they jumped ship. By Christmas of 2004, the company had yet to get any real traction, and Pentecost spent more of his own capital to keep. So he spent more money of his own money to keep the things going. He had yet to get any real traction, and Pentecost spent more of his own capital to keep the enterprise afloat. All of a sudden, several months later, it took off. 4 years later, it took off. With pockets of interest springing up in various states thanks to hard-working sales personnel. Hard-working. Oh, hold on. I have Michael Weeder contacting me. Doing a live team call right now. Give me 30 more minutes. All right. So we're looking at 2004 now. A couple of months later, he spent all his money in here. Now it's starting to take off. Pockets of interest is starting to pop up. They hit profit. By 2008, 8 years later, It Works had paid all its debts and broke into Canada the following year. In 2010, 10 years later, the company earned sales of 27 million. 1 year later, 46 million. And in 2012, the company surpassed 200 million. So you see how that growth worked? 8 years, nothing really. And all of a sudden, it just took off like a rocket. 200 million. It went from 46 million to 200 million in 2 years. It's not done yet. Female rap model Front Today It Works is headquartered in Bradenton, Florida and sells in 12 countries. Its 60,000 employees and sales operatives include Pentecost children who are involved in both sales and philanthropic aspects of the company. They believe they will do over $500 million this year. So 2012, 200 million, 2014, 500 million. Now, what if that man gave up 2 years into it or 3 years into it? And he was the owner. We got reps that can't handle 60 days paying $34.95. This is a business. This company will be a multi-billion-dollar company. And the people that I started with will not be here to see that happen, unfortunately. Now, this is each and every person's choice. We have people making $12,000 a month in less than 2 months in the business. We have people that will do that after 2 years. Just what somebody else does has no bearing on what you do in your business. You have no idea what's going to happen with your team. Who's going to join your business? 15, 20 levels down. You never know where it's going to come from. While you're looking at the left hand, the right hand's doing something different. Don't worry about the small stuff. Don't sweat the small stuff. Someone else asked me this, Brandon, how can you have so much faith in this and what you're doing? I said, yeah, faith has a lot to do with it. But number one, I have an insane work ethic where I know I'm going to make money no matter what business I'm in. It's just making sure I'm in the right business that's headed in the right direction. So do I believe, the real question is, do I believe this business is headed in the right direction? Well, we're almost 2 years in and we're debt free. We're in profit. We're growing. We're having massive success. The opposite of what It Works was going through at the same point in time. The opposite of what my last company was in at the same point in time. So it's already a profit with or without anything that I do. But then I look at the industry. People say, I think I need to do more homework. What does the industry say what's going on? Well, you just turn on the news. The news. Look at all these articles. 5 problems retailers must fix in 2014. Without rebirth, malls face extinction. Showrooming left in the dust as shoppers go online. A tsunami of store closing expect to hit retail. This was all in January. Mobile commerce statistics. E-commerce in the Middle East grew 300%. Walmart Sam's Club to cut 2,300 workers. E-commerce expanding at breakneck pace. Stores confront new world of reduced shopper traffic. E-commerce not only siphons off sales, but changes shopping habits. Holiday sales up, but fewer people in stores. The rise of e-commerce by entrepreneurs by the numbers. Twitter planning to move into e-commerce. Starbucks Schultz says there's a sea change happening in retail. And on and on and on. Speaking of, I'm going to show you guys an article that was just printed today that Lou Smith posted in a second here. I'm going to do some screen sharing. But the industry is the right industry. And I said something in January. Now, here's what happened. You guys remember the holiday season when Cyber Monday did more growth than Black Friday? And after Christmas, reports came out that UPS, for the first time ever, could not live up to its word and deliver shipments by Christmas on time like they promised. You guys remember that? And everybody was asked, how in the world can that be? What is you know how you've seen people make jokes on Facebook all the time, say you only had one job. You only had one thing to do and you couldn't get that right, right? All you had to do was put apples in the bag that says apples. You put it in the bag that says oranges. That was your only job. And you couldn't get that right? Well, what is UPS's only job? To ship. Ship items. So when they asked them, how can you fail at your only job? They said, we failed in forecasting the demand of shipping. They said, but that's your job. You do it every year. What happened this year? And this is what they said. They said, well, normally we track when grandma goes to the store and she wants to do her Christmas shopping and she wants to send her grandson Jimmy, who lives in a different state, a gift. She goes to the store, she buys the item, either she has them wrap it or she takes it home and wraps it herself, then she goes into UPS and has it shipped. That's how it's been traditionally for the last 50 years or so. What happened this year? Grandma went online, looked up what she wanted to buy her grandson from Toys R Us, wherever, and then had it shipped directly to her grandson. So grandma never had her hands on the product. For the first time ever, this happened more than and they couldn't, UPS couldn't track that because people were not going into the UPS store. You guys understand that? Here's something else that happened. UPS had a deal with Amazon.com. After Cyber Monday, Amazon ran a special that said anybody who signs up for Amazon Prime will get free 2-day shipping on any items purchased through Amazon for Christmas. What happened? Over 1 million people signed up for the service after Cyber Monday, and they failed to report those numbers to UPS. And UPS got swamped. Now I want you to picture this. Why I say you are in the right place at the right time. This is where you have to have vision. This is where you are the trailblazer. A lot of times people want to join a company where they can already show 500 people making $50,000 a month. Well, each company had to have a beginning. Somebody had to be the first. We only have 2 diamonds in our company. We don't have those success stories yet to point to. You are going to become that success story. You are going to become that trailblazer. You are the one marching down a path that has not been walked before. That people are going to write stories about, articles about, magazines, movies about, books about. People, it's going to be you. Those who stick around. And so, if UPS could not figure out and get a grip on the growing industry of e-commerce, do you think the average person, meaning you and me, have a full understanding on just how large this is? And we're in the business right now. Do you think the people in other companies who don't even know Shopping Sherlock exists, who can't even fathom what e-commerce is, do you think they have any clue, any idea? They're out there selling coffee. They're out there selling TaxBot. They're out there selling health and wellness. Do you think they have a clue on what the e-commerce industry is going through right now? They don't have a clue. So since you know they don't have a clue, you should never be swayed by the fact that they don't see your opportunity yet. That they say no to you right now. that they're still excited about whatever it is that they're currently doing. They have no clue. Not yet. Like we talked about on the team call last week, it's gonna be a slap in the face. They're not going to have a choice because it's gonna be front and center, especially when the presidential elections roll around. It's going to be in everybody's face, e-commerce. It already is right now. People just aren't paying attention. Well, what do you mean by that, Brandon? Have you guys ever bought a new car before or a new dress, ladies? And all of a sudden you see everybody else wearing your dress or you see everybody else with the same car you have? And you're like, man, can I get something that nobody else has? Where'd all these cars come from? They were already there. You just didn't notice it until you were made aware of it. The cars were already there. Now you see it. The Bible talks about having eyes that can see. Now you're aware of it. Now that I'm aware of e-commerce, I see it everywhere I look. I can't turn on the TV without hearing something about it. Where 7 months ago, it's like I'm oblivious to it. I had no idea. And I consider myself in the know. I consider myself an expert and I had no clue. I'm actually a little bit ashamed of that, but it excites me at the same time because I'm like, man, I know something that you don't. I'm positioned way before everybody else. That's what's happening right now. Let me do screen sharing and I'm going to show you an article from today. Let's see here. So type Y if you can see my screen. And I'll wait a little bit because last time I did that, people said yes, then all of a sudden nobody could see the screen. So I'm waiting, make sure they're getting any no's. Alright, everybody can see it, right? Take a look at this. Let's look at the date here. And thank you, Lou Smith, for finding this. I don't even know if Lou's on right now. April 21st, 2014. That's today's date. Where did you find this one, Lou? Look at this. Is e-commerce the next big thing for FedEx? Now, you know, I speak in a lawyer's voice here when I read things. I break sentences down. We're going to break this article down here. So bear with me. The burgeoning e-commerce market has opened up a sea. Now, understand, anytime you read something, you look at the adjectives. How are they describing something? They didn't have to say a sea of opportunity. It could have been just, hey, e-commerce market is opening up an opportunity. No. E-commerce market has opened up a sea of opportunity for delivery companies. Back in January, you know what I said? I have it on one of our calls. I said, the smart person would invest stock in delivery companies. If you're looking for a job at the end of 2014, hey, holiday season, go look for the delivery companies. FedEx, UPS, get a seasonal job. I guarantee they're going to be hiring. Mark my words. You're going to see that at the end of this year. It's going to be all over the news. Hey, FedEx and UPS has a rush of new hires. Because that's what UPS said last year. They didn't have enough employees to meet demand because they didn't know the demand was going to be that high. Mark my words. But listen to this. Sea of opportunity for delivery companies. So much so that the second largest parcel carrier, FedEx, sees global e-commerce as one of its biggest growth drivers. FedEx's success will depend on how well it is able to mold its services to the need of the industry. The industry is not molding itself to FedEx. FedEx needs to mold itself to the needs of the industry. Remember last week when we talked about the scare of people losing their jobs and all this e-commerce, and the average person will say, why is this happening? How could this happen? How could the federal government allow our economy to go down and people lose their jobs? It wasn't the federal government who did it. It was us. All of us who have smartphones, tablets, laptops, computers, all of us who figure out that it's more convenient to look at things online instead of getting on our car, paying gas, and going down to the local stores all over town. Those of us who find it more convenient to do all of our business from a smartphone. We're the ones who drove this economy the way it is. Everybody else, including the businesses, are reacting to us and the change of our habits. You guys understand that? I hope that didn't go over your heads. We are the cause of this. And all they are doing is reacting to us. FedEx is molding itself to the needs of the industry. Supply and demand. Online shopping is the buzzword. Now, this is an article. They're not in Shopping Sherlock. Why am I going to listen to broke cousin Pookie talking about I got to get in coffee? No, online shopping is the buzzword. Online sales are rising at an astronomical pace. Astronomical pace, as more and more people discover the ease of shopping from the comfort of their homes. I'm going to pull out my pulpit right now. Even cross-border online shopping is gathering steam, as it is expected to rise at an incredible rate of 200%. Didn't we already say that? I mean, you think we're making these things up on our presentations that is growing at 200% a year? $1 trillion industry growing at 200%. We didn't make it up. They just said it right now. Online shopping is gathering steam, expected to rise at an incredible rate of 200% in the next 5 years, most of which will likely come from China. How many times have you heard me say the person who's going to make the most money in Shopping Sherlock is not going to be American? They're probably not going to speak English. They're either going to come from Russia, China, Japan, or Brazil. This article is just backing me up right now. China. A Nielsen survey found that cross-border shoppers will grow from 94 million shoppers spending $105 billion in 2013 to 130 million shoppers spending around $307 billion in 2018. Is our industry going backwards? There's no way in the world Shopping Sherlock can fail. No way possible when the industry is growing the way it is right now. 130 million shoppers spending around $307 billion in 2018. Not surprisingly, research firm Technavio Project. So when people tell you, Brandon, I need to do my research, I don't believe what you say, great. You send them to our Power Team Marketing site. Go to the e-commerce section and pull up all of these articles. We didn't write them. Professionals are saying. This is what the professionals are saying. They project a 13.5% 5-year increase in the e-commerce market. Fellow researcher eMarketer shares a similar sentiment, predicting the global e-commerce market to generate roughly $1.5 trillion in revenue in 2014 and nearly $2.4 trillion by 2017. In 3 years, the entire industry doubled. So, can you imagine where we are right now adding another $1 trillion by 2017? Do you want a piece of this? At present, North America is the world's largest e-commerce market with annual sales of $431 billion in 2013. However, eMarketer forecasts that this lead may be short-lived, as Asia Pacific could claim the #1 spot this year, driven by growth in China, India, and Indonesia. The research firm expects the Asia Pacific region to record staggering business-to-consumer, or BTC, e-commerce sales of nearly $525.2 billion in 2014 against North America's $482 billion. You know what? People in America aren't signing up. So what? We're on the internet. Let's go get people overseas. They get it. There's going to be more money overseas anyway, which is another major reason why I'm here. The chart below shows forecasts for e-commerce sales by region. I'm not going to go over the chart, and I will give you guys this link, but just giving you an example. Look at the rise from 2012, and by 2017, 2012 is nothing compared to what's going to be happening in 2017. You really want to quit and leave this industry? Increasing online retailing means a higher need for package deliveries and more business for delivery companies, provided that they tune their resources to the evolving need of the industry. Again, we're the ones driving this thing. Our needs. FedEx is leaving no stone unturned and is realigning its business to make the most of the booming industry. There's that adjective again. the booming industry. 7 months ago, I had no clue. The billionaires know what's going on. The rest of us are being left out. We're all going to find out about it after the fact. Would you want to be in the Facebook boardroom 10 years ago or today? Would you want to be a part of Apple at the beginning or after Steve Jobs is long gone? After it's all of a sudden popular. This says that they're on the right track. FedEx has started offering streamlined courier services that suit the requirement of online retailers. Free shipping. Hey, isn't that what Shopping Sherlock says? Free shipping is a major deciding factor when people shop online. It is a nightmare for retailers, however, as more than 50% of the products sold online are shipped free. FedEx has cleverly converted this into an opportunity. Smart. By launching the FedEx Smart Post service, a low-cost residential parcel service that is suitable for light packages. Let's fast forward just a little bit here. FedEx has identified another big opportunity in local deliveries. Like I said, guys, there's going to be a booming job market for this at the end of this year. Retailers are mostly forced to rely on smaller, local courier companies that give non-uniform services. Somebody who's smart is going to start their own retail delivery business, local business. Guarantee it. And they're going to make $1 billion. As a solution, FedEx is working to increase connectivity in the remotest of places, like places where Lou Smith lives out in the sticks, right? I'm picking on Lou tonight. It's opening new hubs and acquiring local delivery companies in the key markets of Europe, Latin America, and Asia Pacific. The company already serves more than 400 cities in China and intends to set up a cargo hub in Shanghai to increase its footprint. With these initiatives, FedEx should be able to leverage its logistics and boost profitability further. The courier major has also developed a host of web-based services to help brick-and-mortar retailers transform their businesses into high-growth online platforms. Hello, best in social. Hello. Retailers can easily integrate FedEx's web services platform into their own web systems that allow them to track shipment information like the date, transit time, rate, and details of sales returns. With FedEx's web integration wizard, customers can track the shipments directly via the retailer's home site. Now, UPS already does that now. You can track your stuff. Now, check this out. This is competition. I want you to pay close attention because another person said, Brandon, how can, we know Shopping Sherlock is going to be around. What if another company comes around and they do things better than Shopping Sherlock? What's going to happen to us? Pay attention to this. There is room for competition. I mean, you still have Target when Walmart's out there. Arch rival UPS was quick to sense the opportunity and solidified its ground transportation ahead of FedEx. FedEx was quite apprehensive to shift its focus from its express segment, though consumer preference changed in favor of cheaper delivery services. That's right, ain't nobody going to pay all that money for FedEx to guarantee overnight delivery. Just go to UPS. UPS has its own economical UPS SurePost service, which is similar to FedEx's SmartPost. It also offers the feature-loaded UPS My Choice service, through which customers can get notifications regarding their deliveries, adjust delivery times and locations, and get packages delivered without a signature when not at home. I hate that because I gotta sit. When you order it, something's coming, and they say anywhere between 8 and 5. And that 30-minute time you got to run to the store for something, right? That's when they want to show up. And then they leave a note. They'll be back tomorrow. Right? So here they're saying now is to deliver it without home signature. More importantly, it also has a partnership with online retail major Amazon.com. That's what messed them up last year because Amazon added 1 million Prime users and UPS couldn't handle it. So they have a partnership with Amazon.com from which it amassed huge revenue in the holiday season last December, when the former locked orders for 36.8 million items. Quite obviously, the top courier company is now reaping the benefits. It handled an average of 16.9 million packages per day in 2013. You guys understand this business? This is the greatest economic shift in wealth. 16.9 million packages that they're doing, and the majority of those are now going to be ordered online. 4% rise over last year, due in large part to the e-commerce boom. Billionaires know what's going on. We're still worried about $34.95 and I haven't made money in 2 months. Really? This is where we step our game up. This is where we need to step our vision up. We're taking it to the next level. I'm not here to make $20,000 a month. I'm here to be a millionaire. I'm here to change my family's destiny for generations to come. I don't care who's making money and Wake Up Now and DS Domination. Good for them. This is about what is your vision for what you can do. Look at this. FedEx's average daily packages stood at 4.2 million. Better late than never. FedEx has finally taken initiatives to strengthen its ground logistics, and the impact of these initiatives are visible in the company's improving ground revenue. The opportunity that e-commerce holds is gigantic. So even if UPS got a head start, the market is big enough to accommodate multiple players. You guys understand that? Companies like DS Domination is not our competition. It's not one or the other. What do? eBay and Amazon. They'll make more money using Sherlock to build their business, and vice versa. Competition is okay. There's enough to go around. You can have 100 Sherlocks out there around the world and we'll still be a multi-billion-dollar business. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We're the only ones right now doing what we do. The only one. And we're worldwide. The boom's a boon. FedEx's strategy of addressing the e-commerce industry's challenges is pretty smart, as it lays the groundwork for higher revenues. The company is devising suitable strategies like Smart Post, offering a handy e-commerce tools and expanding its delivery network in the key markets to strengthen future prospects. FedEx has played the right chords and looks poised to make the most of the global e-commerce growth. Ladies and gentlemen, we didn't write that article. Do you guys understand what they're positioning themselves for? They already know that e-commerce is changing the game. And they're getting prepared to handle that growth. Shopping Sherlock is perfectly positioned, and the only ones who have figured it out, besides you on here right now, are the people overseas. Are you looking for short term or long term? I say, how about both? How about having short term and long term? How about understanding the power of two? Getting two. You know, just by showing that article, you should be able to sign people up in the business. Just by showing that article. Why? You show that article and say, hey, my company is perfectly positioned in this industry. Do you know 2 people with 249 so that they can get positioned in this industry? Do you think they could find 2 people and they're only paying $34.95 a month? You do this 12 levels deep, $20,000 a month. And that's just on the $10 cycle. Forget everything else. Just the power of 2. What if you did the power of 4? I am not playing with this. Has it taken off as fast as I wanted to? No. No, it has not. Does it get frustrating at times? Absolutely. Has the thought of quitting ever crossed my mind? Hell no. Excuse my language. Because I'm looking at becoming a millionaire. Not a thousandaire. A couple of updates. I'm still waiting to hear back from McKimmy to give me the link for tomorrow. Because tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, we're scheduled to have a special marketing session. We hired a Kimmy for Sherlock to teach us branding and marketing and all that kind of stuff. So that's scheduled after Noel Floyd's grand opening at 10 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. As soon as I get the link, I'll give it out. Also, on May 10th, in the St. Louis area, Super Saturday with Michael Weeder and Diamond Chuck Williams. So anybody in the St. Louis area. Also here in Los Angeles, this is long overdue, but we're going to be having every Tuesday night our live meetings. I'm switching my focus more offline than online. I'm going back to how I was taught in this industry, the basics. Offline. And I'm going to build LA. LA, there's 13 million people in this city. What if I had 50,000 of them on my team just here in the city alone? Multi-millionaire. Just 5,000. So anybody that you know in the LA area, we're going to have our meetings in LA. So keep a hold of that. Something else I wanted to say that it just quickly I lost track of what I wanted to say next, and it was very important. Hopefully it'll come back to me. But what I will do, does anybody have any questions, comments, anything they'd like to share? Go ahead, either raise your flag, or if you're on the conference call line, hit *6 to unmute yourself. Is there anybody that we can go over for you? Marciano, hey, I don't see the microphone next to your name. Are you on the conference call line? Where are you at, Marciano? How can I unmute you? That's correct, Daniel. A month. Marciano's got his flag raised, but how can I get you to talk? Or you can type it in. Is there anybody else that they'd like to share or go over anything? Like I said, I am 100% focused and committed to seeing this through. Because here's another reason why. I would not be able to live with myself going somewhere else or taking a deal or jumping ship or, just not satisfied with the current growth and I change course, knowing where this industry is going to be over the next couple of years. There's a lot of big things happening in Sherlock that you guys don't even know about yet. You're going to see, if you notice the home page, you see a little different change to it, right? Well, it's not finished yet. It's going to have a completely new look. It's going to be a lot more simpler. So there's a lot of things saved, especially, and here's what Michael Weeder said, the future of our company is something that we don't even promote right now. You want to know what that is? It is our mobile app. We have hired the #1 mobile app design company in the world. We are not playing with this. We only have one shot at it, to do our app, because that is the future. It is going to be tight. So guys, we haven't even gotten out of the starting gate yet for Shopping Sherlock. We're all just getting ourselves positioned. Oh, I remember what I wanted to say. This is also very important. This was a learning lesson for me. You cannot build this business under stress. And what do I mean by that? Especially for those of you who came over with us from our last company. It has been very difficult for us because you lost incomes. If you're depending on what you do on Sherlock to put food on the table, There's only two types of people in that situation. The first type of person does what I did when I was in this situation 2 years ago. My back was against the wall. I had no choice but to succeed. I put my head down for 90 days. Out of 15 years in this industry, I never did this before. And I'm kicking myself for not doing it sooner. But my back was against the wall. I'm a husband, a father, I have children. I have other people to take care of besides just myself. I had no choice. I didn't take no for an answer. I didn't care what was being done before me. I didn't care what anybody else was doing. I didn't care what goals were set before, what records were there. I just did it. I got to 5 figures a month in 90 days. I had no choice. But then you have the other type of person that does not take upon that type of challenge because, one, I also have the skills to put that into question. I'll get to Joyce in 1 second. So the other type of person is stressed and they're trying to talk to people about their business under stress. The other person can feel that vibration off of them. They can feel the desperation. They're not feeling confidence from them. They're not feeling, that this is a profitable business, because if it was profitable, you wouldn't be stressed out. And they end up doing worse in the business. People aren't joining them. They're not making enough money. And you end up quitting. You need to be stable. Your bills need to be able to get paid whether you're making money in this company or not. And once you're on your feet and you're in a stable position, you're in a much better position to build your business. I hope that makes sense. So let me get back to Joyce. Joyce, I'm going to unmute you. So go right ahead, Joyce.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
You know, I am trying my darnest to get my two people, but it's always saying they don't have the money or they think this is a scam. And I said, no, it's not. I'm not giving up, but I've given away a lot of my Sherlocks for free. But the other, I'm just trying hard.
All right, let me show you what to do in that situation, because you're not alone. Most of the people on here will probably say the same exact thing. The people that I talk to, here's their excuse. They think it's a scam, or they think that they don't have the 249. Both questions means that they don't value what it is that we're doing. They don't see the value in it yet. It kind of makes sense to them, but it's something that they've never heard of before. So first instinct, it must be a scam. Because the new Jordans is coming out for $240, and you go to the worst neighborhood in Cleveland where the unemployment rate is like 80%, and you have a line wrapped around the block of people willing to pay $250 tax to buy Michael Jordan shoes. But you go to that same person and show them this business, they don't have $249. So what do we do in that situation? Here's what you do. It is all about educating them, which is why I spend a lot of time teaching about the industry, where this industry is going, why there's a value. So when you're talking to that proper person, you ask them a couple of questions. Ask them, what is it that you're looking? How much money are you looking to make? What need do you have? You're not ready to sign up. You think this is a scam? Great. At least sign up as a customer for free. Scams don't hand out things for free, or it's not a scam. All right? So try it for free. What are you going to buy online next? If you're going to buy something online, let me show you how to get it for cheap. And you show them, wow, I was going to spend $400, but I got it for $100? Really? I just saved $300? Yeah. Now use those savings to get in the business and make money. You're going to have to spend time with people. And I know that's not the internet marketer's way. The internet marketer's way is this shotgun approach. Throw mud at the wall and see what sticks. Spending time on one person, you're losing money because you're losing out on 15 people you could have been marketing to. That's not what's going to build this business. Developing a relationship with an individual, showing them how this industry is growing, how they can get themselves positioned, why it's not a scam. If it's a scam, would all these news articles be posting about it? And to help you guys out, again, we've done the research for you. It is not your job to convince somebody that this is not a scam, to convince somebody that this is something worth their time. Just show them. Let me pull up the direct link. You show them this link here. Do your research on the industry of e-commerce. Another question, what if they say they don't have a PC? Say, well, maybe this business isn't for you then. And move on. There's nothing you can do about that. You don't have a, do you have a smartphone? Yeah, then you can do the business. Do you have a cell phone? Can you access the internet from your cell phone? Are you on Facebook? How are you getting on Facebook? How are you looking on things online? Then you can do this business. I don't have the money. If you could do this business for free, would you join? Sure, great, you're in the business. What do you mean? I didn't pay any money yet. I don't care about your money. I care about, are you willing to work it? We have a presentation taking place tomorrow night. Invite a couple of people and test drive it. See what they have to say. There's no risk to you because you didn't even pay the money to get started. Are you willing to do that? No? All right, thank you for your time. Next. Move on. Anybody ever heard of Dexter Yeager? Made over $1 million a month in Amway. Here's what Dexter Yeager said. You have to understand the numbers. This is a numbers game. He personally sponsored over 2,000 people. Out of the 2,000 people, 1,800 of them quit. He had 200 left. Out of the 200 people, only 40 of them took it seriously. Out of the 40 people, 15 of them made him worth over $250 million. So look at that. He went through 2,000 people. And those are just the ones who signed up. How many people do you think said no to him for him to get 2,000 people to actually sign up in his entire career? He was just, when you ask him, why did you have success getting started in the company 5 years after the company's been around? I was willing to talk to more people than anybody else. I was willing to go through more no's and not quit, which has made me $250 million. Are you willing to go through the no's? Are you willing to go through the sacrifice? Are you willing to go through, well, Sherlock's not popular in America right now. Are you willing to go through that? We are going to make it popular. Mark my words. I have not failed in anything I've done as an adult. And I take this as a challenge. At the same time, this is the most difficult thing I have done as an adult, as far as in business. I guarantee I'm going to be making 6 figures a month in this business. And when that happens, all the followers are going to be flocking all over. Oh, yeah, y'all heard about Sherlock? Hey, where were you 2 years ago? Oh, I was playing with the tax bot. Nobody was doing anything in Sherlock yet. They had to wait for somebody. I'm going to be that person they're going to wait for. I can lose every single person on my team. I'm not going anywhere. Remember, the most important person you will ever recruit is the wrist at the end of your own, the hand at the end of your own wrist. So yes, you might be going through struggles of people saying no because they don't understand it. So your job is not to convince people to join, it's to educate them of the industry and offer them an opportunity to hop on board as well. That's how you recruit 2 people. Have you heard about what's going on with e-commerce? No, you haven't? Have you been paying attention to the news? You heard about people getting laid off. You heard about people losing their jobs and stores closing. You want to know why? How would you like to get paid every time people go shop online? Does that interest you at all? Yeah? Take a look at this video. You want to know the promo videos you need to show? Let me go back and bring it up. If you don't have these ready and available. I have them on our Shopping Sherlock Power Team Marketing site. Have these available to show them. Man, hey, take a look at this video here. Would you like to know more about it? Yes? Let me put you on a three-way call. If you're not doing three-way calls, your business is going nowhere. Let me ask the person if they have $249, not you. Let us build the business for you. Your job is only to expose, not sign up. There's a difference. Your job is just to expose the business to other people. And once people want to know more information, you pass them on to someone else. Marciano Washington posted something on his Facebook wall today. Let me pull it up. And I like this. Well, I don't know where he posted it. Maybe it was on the Power Team group. I'm on his wall and I don't see it. Let me go to the Power Team group. And this law is true no matter what company you're in. People who think the grass is greener somewhere else, and they join another company and realize they got to do the same exact thing and they're not getting the results. Number 1, make your prospect list names and numbers. Number 2, push play. Show them videos. Number 3, three-way call. And then follow up and close. That is it. This is reputation, ladies and gentlemen. It's in the gym. You're in the gym trying to lose weight and get bigger or get muscles. It takes a while to start getting that traction, but once you get that traction, it's off to the races. Oh, wow. I just looked at the time. I went over our time again. Just like last week. So anybody else, any last questions or comments? I hope this was good information for you to know. This was recorded. In fact, let me stop the recording right now.